Hello and welcome once again. In this module, as we have discussed in the earlier module, that this will be a continuation of the topic that we had initiated in the previous one. We had discussed some of the elements of subsetting in R. We will continue this in this discussion as well. We will let you know what integer subsetting, character subsetting, and logical subsetting actually is. This discussion will include ideas like removing column from a data frame, removing rows based on some conditions, and many more ideas like this. So these topic will also be discussed here. So let's see what is there in the discussion. Here we are starting with the ideas of lookup tables. Character matching provides a powerful way to make lookup tables. Suppose our X contains these characters and lookup is like M equals male, F equals female, and U equals NA. So our X and lookup is like this. Now if we type lookup then within third bracket X, then we will have the output corresponding to each of the characters, and the output will be like the one which is given here. Now, if you don't want names in the result, you can use unname to remove them. So, unname lookup X will give you the output which is given here. You may have a more complicated lookup table which has multiple columns of information. Suppose we have a vector of integer grades and a table that describes their properties. So, grades is the vector of integer grades containing grades of 12 students. Now, suppose the table which contains the properties is given in a data frame called info. So, here is our info data frame. Now, we would like to have a row for each value in grades. For this, we are defining it in this fashion. Here, we are defining ID to be match of grades, comma, info $grade. Now, if we type info, then within third bracket ID, comma, then it will produce a row for each value in the grades, and the output will look like this. Here comes the idea of random sampling subsetting. You can use integer indices to perform random sampling or bootstrapping of a vector or data frame. The sample function generates a vector of indices, then subsetting to access the values. Here, df is the data frame where x and y contains digits and z contains letters, as it is shown here, and here is our data frame. Now, we will set seed for reproducibility, and here the seed is set to be 20. Now, we want to reorder the whole lot. So, we will use sample function to do that, and the code is like this. Using this, we have the reordered data frame and it is given to be like this. Now, we want to subset the sample into 3 random rows. For this, we are using this command and here is our output. Here, the third, fourth and the fifth rows are selected at random. So, the output will be like this. Here, as we may have already known that the arguments of function sample control the number of samples to extract and whether sampling is performed with or without replacement. Here comes the idea of another function called order. It takes a vector as input and returns an integer vector describing how the subsetted vector should be ordered. Suppose x is a vector of 7 element. So here is our x vector. Now to make the elements of the set in order, we use x, then within the third bracket order of x, and hence the elements of x are ordered in the output. Now, if the vector has duplicate elements, then to break the ties, you can supply additional variables to order. Here also, it needs to be mentioned that you can change from ascending to descending order using decreasing is equal to true. Now, suppose x is a vector containing 7 elements. So, here is our x. So, 5 is duplicated here, and using this code, we are actually having a decreasing sequence. So, the code is x, then order x, comma, decreasing is equal to 2, and we have the sequence which is in decreasing order. Now, if there is any missing value at the end of the vector, you can always remove them with na dot last is equal to na, or put at the front with na dot last is equal to false. Consider the last example and include an additional na inside the vector. So, now the vector x looks like this. Here is our x. So, to remove na from the vector, we will put na dot last is equal to na within the existing code, and the updated code will look like this along with the output. So, here is our R code, which reads x within third bracket order x comma decreasing is equal to true, na dot last is equal to na, and hence the output will be 17, 10, 9, 8, 5, 5, 2, since 5 is duplicated here, and these are arranged in an decreasing order. Now, let us consider some of the applications of data frame. Here, our data frame is given and it is under the name df. So, our data frame will look like this, and the column x contains the numbers 1 to 5, each replicated twice, and the column y contains the numbers starting from 10 to 1. So, it's a sequence of number from 10 to 1. And the column z has letters 1 to 10. That is, starting from A, we are going up to the 10th letter. Now, we will use sample to reorder it randomly. So, here is our df2, that is our new df, and we are setting the seed to be 20. So, our df2 will be like df of sample nrow df, comma 3:1, and the df2 will be like this. Now, look at the new data frame. The order of the original data frame has been completely disarrayed. So, we want to reorder again to make it an orderly form. So, here we will apply the order function, and we are using the command df2 within third bracket order of df2 $x, comma, and the output will be like this. Now, we want to get back the original order of the names, that is x, y and z. So, what do? We will just add order names df2 with the existing code, and the output will look like this. Here we are having our original data frame that we have started with. Now, here comes the idea of expanding aggregated counts. Again, sometimes you get a data frame where identical rows have been collapsed into one and a count column has been added. Here, the function rep and integer subsetting make you easy to uncollapse the data by subsetting with a repeated row index. Now, suppose df is a data frame which contains the 6 elements x, y, m and n, where x is 2, 4, 1, y is 9, 11, 6, m is 5, 2, 1 and n is 3, 5, 1. So, here is our data frame which is called df. Now, we want to add more rows and keep the same elements. So it is needless to say that we need to repeat the elements in the additional rows. Now the question is, how will we do that? Take any variable from the list of variables x, y, m and n. Here I have taken m. Now the elements of m are 5, 2 and 1. We all know that. Now each variable has 3 elements. If you add 5, 2 and 1, it will be 8. We will repeat the elements of each variable according to m. Like the first element will be repeated 5 times, second element will be repeated twice, and the third element will be repeated once. So the number of additional rows will be now 8 minus 3 is equal to 5, and the total number of row will be 8. So the new data frame will be like this: df of rep within first bracket 1 to n row df, comma, df $m, then a comma. And here is our output. So our objective is fulfilled. Now here we are trying to remove columns from data frames. Suppose df is again a data frame, and now df contains x is equal to 1 to 2, y is equal to 3 to 1, and z is equal to letters 1 to 3. That is, we are starting with the letter A and we are going up to the third letter. Now, if you know the columns you don't want, use set operations to work out which columns to keep. So, we are using this code for this. Here is the code and here is the output. Now, here comes the idea of selecting rows based on a condition. It allows you to easily combine conditions from multiple columns. Logical subsetting is probably the most commonly used technique for extracting rows out of a data frame. Here, we want to extract only those data points corresponding to cars whose gear is 5. So, we are using this code and here is the desired result. What we are writing is that we are writing empty cars, then within third bracket empty cars $gear is equal to 5, comma, which will extract only those elements which has gear 5. Now again we want to subset the existing set with condition carb is equal to 2. So we are using this code, that is empty cars, then within third bracket empty cars $gear is equal to 5 and empty cars $carb is equal to 2, comma. So here we want to find only those cars whose gear is 5 and carb is 2. So we are putting this additional condition with an ampersand. Now subset is a specialized shorthand function for subsetting data frames and saves some typing, because here you don't need to repeat the name of the data frame. You will learn how it works in non-standard evaluation. Now in mathematics and mathematical logic, Boolean algebra is the branch of algebra in which the values of the variables are true and false, usually denoted as 1 and 0 respectively. Here, the which function allows you to convert a Boolean representation to an integer representation. So, draw a random sample from a set of first 10 natural numbers and let it be x. Now, we would like to impose a condition, say find out which number is less than 5. Now, as we know that there are many ways to find this, but here we will learn the application of which function. So, what does it do? Here, we assign the condition x is less than 5 in y. So, here is our y, which contains true where the condition that x is actually less than 5 is satisfied. So, which of y will give us 4, 6, 8 and 9. Now, if we write which of y, then the function which yields the position of the numbers which are less than 5. So, here 4th, 6th, 8th and 9th numbers of the set x are less than 5. So, let's demonstrate the fact with another example. Suppose x is a vector with the first 10 natural numbers. So, here our x is given and you need to check which numbers are divisible by 2. So, what do we do? Assign the condition in y and then by typing which y will give you the desired result. That is the set of even numbers between 1 to 2. Now here are some other applications. Like mathematics, here also we can apply some monotone laws. Suppose two samples x and y both are given. X is the sample of 10 and y is C of 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10. That is the set of all even numbers starting from 1 up to 10. Here, intersect is a function which finds out the common elements between the two sets of x and y. Let's have a look. If we type intersect x, y, then the common elements between x and y will be shown. That is the one which is shown here. Now, we will discuss about another function which is called union. This is a function which finds out the elements which are in x and y or in both x and y. So, if you write down union of x, y, and the output will be like this as it is expected. Here, basically x is the superset and y is the subset of x. So, union of x and y will actually give us the elements of x. So, here is the union of x and y and here is the output. The last function which we will discuss here is the setdiff function. It is a function which extracts the elements from both of the sets which are not common elements of the two sets. And here is the output when we are applying the setdiff function on x and y. So from the last two modules, now we have some clear ideas about what subsetting actually is and how it works. With the help of several examples, we come to know what are the functionalities of these kinds of subsetting. By now, we know what integer subsetting, character subsetting, and logical subsetting actually is. Again, we can continue the discussion a bit longer, but we are stopping here and we will concentrate on the next discussion based on the advanced programming languages based on R.